y'all.
It's gonna be a serious conversation.
Yeah, I think I want to seriously sit down and have a conversation with everybody about a part of life for a family that is often forgotten and can end up very tragically. So I want to talk about losing one another in the midst of life. Now, some statistics that you can look up for yourself is the number one reason that marriages tear apart or couples tear apart is number one is finances. A financial strain can put such a burden on the family that it rips it apart. Number two is usually some kind of affair or something of that sort that's taking place. But another one, a major thing is people just drifting apart, taking one another for granted, just going through routine in life, and therefore one feels unappreciated, unneeded, and therefore it leads to a strain to where you start existing instead of living. So what we want to do is we want to have a serious conversation today about marriages that are just existing instead of living. Now, one thing y'all know about me, I try not to take this channel in any way, form, or fashion into religious an aspect. But because of my life and our life and who we are, it's going to cross somewhere sometime. So we try to just keep it, minor, because I don't want to turn anyone off in a religion. Everybody may have different religious beliefs or thinking. So one particular scripture that holds to my heart is Christ made a statement. He said, "I come that you may have life and that you may have it more in abundance." And sometimes many marriages, they're not living, they're just existing. And so you ask yourself the question, what is it that can lead us from existing back to living? Well, today we're going to attempt to address that issue from our perspective. From our perspective. Now, some time back, Donna sat down and came up with she came up with the idea that she wanted to do in fighting for her family.
Are you talking about recently or years ago? We attempted about 2 years ago to really be intentional about our marriage. So are you talking about then?
Yeah, be intentional. Yeah, because that was furthest back. So
yeah, but that's where we started.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our trip that we took to Atlanta. And if we're honest, us being intentional has been pretty much an epic fail, would you say?
I wouldn't say epic fail.
Not epic fail?
No, I would say it sucked.
Okay. It sucked.
Yeah,
it has sucked. We tried and then
through a straw that's bent.
Through a straw that's bent. And then was it several months after that, we went to the Ark. We went to visit the Ark on a vacation, and still trying.
And when we say the Ark, when we say the Ark, that's the Ark Museum that was in
the Ark Encounter in Kentucky.
Kentucky, right?
So we did the Ark and also Creation Museum. So we planned a trip to Kentucky, just me and my dude number one, to Kentucky. Now, we also need to start with, because this may be someone's first time clicking on this video, okay? First time ever seeing us. If it is, by chance, welcome. And we'll start by saying that dude number one, aka, is also known as my husband. Of course, I'm Donna. We have 4 children and 2 grandbabies. My husband is also a pastor. and works a full-time job.
Yes.
And of course, I work as well. So in everything that's going on, our youngest son, who is currently in college, his senior year, he will be graduating in just a few short months. So we've kind of like been empty nesters, sort of, because he's been away at school. Our other 3 children, of course, are grown and they are out of the home. So with him being away at college, we've kind of felt like empty nesters and have struggled with how do we handle being empty nesters. But it's like really getting ready to be official. Like when he's not coming home on the weekends or whatever, it's getting ready to be official in May that he'll be graduating. So we've like kind of lost ourselves.
Let me say this. Donna really, when it came to our sons, my oldest son, when he was getting ready, when he was finishing high school, and he really knew that he was coming down the home stretch and graduated from high school, there was a look of panic in his face, and he didn't know what he was going to do and how he was going to handle this, and he really went into a panic. And so Mom, of course, jumped in and walked him through, just showing him what budgeting and working out things and things of that sort, and he turned out just fine. But the reality of the situation really led him into a real panic. Well, Lord and behold, dude number 2, also known as our younger son, he was sitting down and he has come up to realizing that college, he's going to come to the end of his college career, graduates this year, and so he hit a wall of reality. That's what I'm going to call it, the wall of reality. And he was kind of in a panic, and what do I do? The reality of I'm no longer going to be a kid. This is going to be an adult thing, and I have to start thinking about life, because life is going to start lifing. And so that was a panic for him. Now I said that to say this. Donna has just hit a wall of a panic. The reality of she has been such a great mother, and her life has revolved always around her kids. We have made every sacrifice there is to make for our kids. Now we do put the responsibility before them, and thank God they have turned out, bless God's name, have been very good kids. We have no, when you go down the litany of things that parents would want from their kids, our kids have achieved that. But it's coming to the point now with dude number 2 getting ready to graduate and going on with life. Mom has hit the panic of, okay, I guess you could say her purpose being challenged. Because if you can remember, there was 4 things that I recommend and I would tell people, and I wanted with us when we first came together. There was 4 things in life, and I looked at it through weekend, and this in relationships. 1, I said there are 4 weekends in a month, usually. Sometimes you have twice, you have 2 weekends, but 4 weekends in a month. I told her a good way to space those weekends, if you are a married couple, if you are just coming together, or if you are just a couple that's together, 4 weekends in a month, I told her this is the way this thing should be. 1 weekend of the month should be dedicated solely to her. The responsibility, the man, we work it out together. But she need to have some time for herself. Another weekend out of the month would be the family weekend. We're working together, all the family, we're doing something together to keep that cohesion and bonding together. The 3rd weekend of the month should be his weekend, to where he can do whatever. And these parameters need to be, they really need to be respected. If he wanted to lay up under a car and look up at the bottom and wonder why they put a boat there, that's his weekend. He should be able to do on his weekend what he wants to do. And then that 4th weekend out of the month should be that couple's weekend. Now, the reason I say this, in a marriage or in life, you cannot forget yourself. You cannot forget you. So she needs her weekend to really just, so she won't lose her. You need your weekend so you really won't lose you. You need a family weekend to understand, and bonding and growing together. And you cannot forget each other, because family, children, it can really drain, and the couples forget each other. Now, your weekend and his weekend, my recommendation, should never be first or second weekend. It has to be space between, because you have 2 weekends away from one another. Now, I said all of that, guys, to say this. It's a fight to keep fire going in your relationship. Life will suck life out of you. And you have to be intentional about keeping life, because one day the baby's going to grow up and they're going to go. And what you have is you have one another. Or in a state of just a person that's a single parent, you're going to have to learn to live with life alone. Meaning going forward when there's nobody there. And so that's what we have been. And it has really been a heavy take for Donna, just dealing with and looking around and wondering. So what we have started to do, and we are trying our best, we're doing the, as our daughter said to us, she came in and said, y'all, what she said, we suck at being empty nesters.
All our kids say that.
All our kids say that. Because we have been parents so much, meaning our life has revolved around our kids, making sure they're okay. But now they are big enough, strong enough, smart enough to go out in life on their own and do just well. Thank God. And so now we're learning just to rekindle what we had. Well, to rekindle what we have, because it's never been rekindled what we had in the beginning, because we have always been
since we're a blended family.
I've always been right out the gate, just coming in and really with the hustle and bustle.
Yeah,
with
so
life.
Since we are a blended family, we've been married almost 23 years.
23.
And we are a blended family. So ever since we've been married, of course, oftentimes when a lot of people get married the first time, they don't have children. So with this being our second marriage and having children, we've always had the children. And we were the kind of parents, and please receive this in the spirit in which I'm sharing it, and I'm not trying to throw shade to anybody, but we were the kind of parents that our kids were always with us. If they weren't with us, they were with either or of the grandparents. And that wasn't very often. Of course, we shared time with mom, with the other mom. But if they weren't with us or with mom, I just lost my train of thought. But they were either with us, with mom, or with one of the grandparents.
Lost, why did you lose your train of thought?
Because I'm struggling with this.
She's trying to deal with the fact of the babies. She still see them as her babies.
Okay.
But they're gone.
So I said all that to say, where we went, our children went as well. So we didn't do vacationing without them. And then a lot of times back then, we couldn't afford to do a lot of vacations. It was very challenging. So, like my husband said, at this point with them getting, I guess they're grown. I guess they are adults trying to find that balance, because between working full time and then most of the time you're working overtime, 10, 12 hours a day, and then that sometimes on the weekends, so sometimes on Saturdays, and then our day starts about 6 o'clock on Sunday morning for church, and anything that we have to do in between in the week as it pertains to church, or maybe events that are coming up. You guys have seen some of my videos and some of the things that I do as the pastor's wife as we prepare. If I am honest, and this is a very, very transparent conversation that we're having, oftentimes we can be like two ships that are passing in the night. Would you not? Yeah. And even sometimes when he comes home, because his job entails him doing hard manual labor. He works hard. He works hard, and it takes every muscle in his body for the type of job that he does. And sometimes when he comes home, if he sits down, takes a shower, sits down for any length of time, he has dozed off because he's just extremely tired. So it's been challenging for us to be intentional, and we have to be honest about we have just not we've not done good at all. Now our marriage is solid.
It's a
solid
marriage, but what we want to do is now we have been existing. One thing about it, even though I'm being tired and not there, I had the confidence of knowing my wife is right there by my side. She's going to be there. Just know the house is going to be clean. She's going to cook, da 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 da. She's going to do everything that a wife does. She has the confidence of knowing that my husband's going to be there. He's going to take care of the things that, you know, things that need to be taken care of there. We have that. But again, what we're looking at now is all of the kids are now gone, and now it's time to live instead of existing. And so,
I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, she's having a very hard time with that. And so some decisions have to be made in that you're going to have to be intentional. You can't be everything to everybody. Sometimes you just got to say, well, no, sorry, we can't be there.
And you saying you can't be everything to everybody is very challenging because of the mantle of him being a pastor. So as I tell him all the time, I share him with so many people. We can be sitting and trying to have a conversation, and you know, maybe a text message comes through for either him or me. I mean, at any given moment, we can receive a phone call, a text message, and it's something ministry. There have been so many times that we are maybe having a conversation, something is happening, and we have to stop it because we have to handle something, or something is going on with someone as it pertains to ministry, or in our ministry, our church ministry, and our church family, and we have to stop what we're doing to make sure that we cater to our church family. And it's a mantle that we love what we do. We know that we've been called. Well, you've been called pastor. I'm just pastor's wife.
And it's, you can't. It's an impossibility to call one. But if she says that when she want to get out, you the pastor.
You the pastor.
You the pastor's wife.
So, but when I tell you we love what we do, and people just do not understand, I oftentimes feel, the sacrifice that we make as it pertains to being in ministry. And so oftentimes we can't be very spontaneous. You know, it's not like he can come home on a Friday and I say, babe, let's throw some stuff in a suitcase and let's just go away for the weekend, because we have church on Sunday. And see, I'm not for leaving on a Friday, come back Saturday. That's not what I want to do. So oftentimes, well, the majority of the time, if we take a vacation, it definitely has to be really planned. But again, it doesn't leave any room for spontaneity.
It doesn't. And so with that, it's going to be something you're going to have to wrestle and make happen.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make it happen, because life going to keep lifing. You know, and we do, as my wife says, it just have a hard, just like, it doesn't matter how hard of a day I have had. Mm-hmm. When the phone ring and it's one of my sons said, Dad, I need to talk with you. I really need to talk with you. I cannot, and they are able, they are super sensitive with me. They can pick up if I'm locked into what they're saying, or if I don't drift it off to somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And they are ones that, I don't want to bother you, Dad. I really don't want to bother you. But no, it doesn't matter. They know if they call me 3 o'clock in the morning, give me 2 minutes to get sleep out of my eyes. Let me get myself together, get my balance. Let's go. Let's go.
And you know, that's one thing I can honestly say that I appreciate. Although he is a pastor, there is an order. There's God. Mm-hmm. Then it's me. Mm-hmm. The family. Mm-hmm. Then the church.
There you go.
Okay.
That's your order.
So
and
God,
wife,
me, wife,
spouse, family, then church.
So there have been some things that have happened in ministry where there was an emergency. Either he couldn't be there, I couldn't be there. If something's going on with me, somebody else has to handle it. And I appreciate the fact that I know I'm first. I'm first before ministry. And that sounds kind of like an oxymoron in a sense, because we're talking about how we've not really been intentional. And then there have been times where we've tried to, you know, we could be at dinner or, you know, maybe having a conversation and the phone rings and then what we're doing stops. So it can kind of sound like, well, you sure you first, and he had to cut you off the handle.
And I guess the thing would say, again, when it come down, if it's ever one of those situations, maybe doing this, and that. My mom may be in different places. But I know if it's a situation to where I'm looking at my wife and something's wrong, everything stops. It doesn't matter. And vice versa. Because she is probably more busy than I am when it comes to things in ministry. Talking with the ladies, doing things with her, a lot of the planning and stuff. She'll have those things going. And then it can easily be, no, well, my husband, he's mature. He's a solid man. He's not I'm not going to whine about her needing to do this. Okay, I know I have to share her.
Yeah, and I guess maybe dinner wasn't a good example, because I think sometimes if we are out, if we're in the middle of dinner or something, if you look and you're getting a call, then you will say, okay, you know, I'll call when we're leaving here, or that kind of, yeah, I'll call when we're leaving here. I do remember there was something that we were planning on doing. We were at home, and then you got a call. It was something somebody really needed, and you looked at me, and I said, baby, it's fine. Just go on and do. So we both have to be mature in that we can't have temper tantrums when those things happen as it pertains to ministry, and it totally alters, you know, or derails our plans, right?
And it is. It's because there's certain things, guys, that God has just built you to do. Mm-hmm. Even with what we had with in times past, the business that we had, dealing with the young men and raising them. Well, they're men now. And sometimes I receive calls from them. They just want advice on life. I become a father figure to them. Now, I've said all that, and that's enough with all of that. We just want to give you guys an idea of the things that's facing in our life. Now what we're dealing with is, well, a lot of that has been removed. A lot of that has been removed.
What's been removed?
It's been removed far as the responsibilities of we're responsible for this or responsible for that. We're not responsible anymore for our kids. They're grown. They're responsible for themselves. And they're able to handle that.
But Steve he's not quite there yet, baby. Listen, look out.
Where we at, guys? We at January, February, March, April.
We have a few more months, you know. He
already
put a little something on the cash app. So we're not quite there yet. And you guys forgive me. I'm gonna go on and tell you right now. You saw earlier in the video that I got emotional. This is very, very challenging for me. My husband says, baby, you've got to do what?
Let him go. And let them grow.
And let them grow. So as a mom, I mean, it's hard. I mean, even the things that we're talking about doing or being more intentional, being intentionally intentional, I mean, because we've got to work hard at it. It just feels hard, or it feels like it's not normal for me to not have to do for our children, or just... I mean, we're nurturers. Y'all, I'm just all over the place.
And so now the thing we have to realize is, how do you move on with life? When life moves on.
Say that again, babe.
How do you move on with life when life moves on? Because life is going to life. It's going to keep moving. And so my wife, the thing is, the kids, they're all, like I said, thank God, blessed, they're healthy, they're whole, they're sound of mind, know where they're going in life. You know, they know what they want in life, and they're going towards their goals. So the thing is now, making sure, which brings us back to the start of this conversation, and that is relationships. Being intentional and have your relationship to where you all are living and not just existing.
And let me share with you, let me also share how, I guess, bad it was. We were the parents, and I don't know, mainly it was my fault, I guess. I remember as a little girl, whenever I got sick in the middle of the night, you know, I got sick, and if I was in the bathroom eating backwards, you know, the first thing I would do is say, Mama. I would call for my mom. Now, although my parents slept with their door closed, we were those parents that did not sleep with our door closed, because we wanted, can I say we or should I say me? More me than we.
Well, more you.
Wanted to be able to hear our children. If one of our children just hollered out for us or called out for us in the middle of the night, there was a better chance that we would hear them although we were asleep. Let me tell you something. You can be sound asleep, but mothers know, and I guess fathers too, but I'm going to say mama because I'm a mama. Mamas know You can be dead asleep, but if you hear that baby cry or call you, it's like immediately it snatches you up out of your sleep and slumber. So we just felt like we knew if the door was open, if that happened, then there was a, more of a chance that we would hear them if they hollered for us in the middle of the night. So that probably lets you know how much privacy we had. And I guess, maybe before it got too late, if the kids came and the door was shut, they probably thought, I wonder what mom and dad in there doing. You know what I mean?
Why's that door shut?
That door shut. Why the door locked?
What are y'all doing? Dad! But no, and it is, I don't want to joke, but let me say this, really. No, we were not, if you will, spoiling our kids. We was raising another generation. And now our kids are the exact same way with their kids. What they live, what they learn.
Yeah.
And so now they are the same way. They are ultimate parents first.
Yeah.
Ultimate parents first. If it means that there's not enough food, well, tonight we're fasting. Kids are going to eat.
Right.
Whatever is needed for the kids, because wherever they were at before they came into life, they were happy. They didn't ask to come here.
Right.
And so when they got here, whereas our responsibility and my responsibility to make sure I was taking care of my family and whatever was needed. Now again, I'm going to wrestle this thing back to where we started. So I want to try to stay right here now with us.
So what that mean? Be quiet. Don't say nothing.
No. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Y'all understand. Y'all get the picture.
Yeah. And we're going to share more as we're talking about being intentional. This won't be the last video. We're going to talk more about even different things that we've gone through as a couple and just, some of the challenges that we've had in our marriage.
And so now I'm saying, now that the kids are raised, they're grown and gone, I am trying to work, almost 4 months. So what I'm trying to do with Donna.
Say my name.
Donna.
Say my name.
See, I'm trying to get her now to let her know. And here's why I'm going to need you guys. Letting Donna know. Now I'm saying I'm going to need you guys' help. Oh, okay. I just said it low. Help.
But they won't be able to hear you.
Okay. So I'm going to need you guys' help in this. Donna feels guilty now that she can do things for herself and not have to worry about for the kids anymore.
We're not gonna totally forget them.
Well, no, we're not gonna totally forget them, but they are they can take care of themselves. They're fine.
They're self-sufficient.
They're self-sufficient. They are fine. They're handling their business. They're working it out, and they don't have to come to mom and dad for nothing. And we'll sense it more before they say anything to us. And now, of course, if they need, we're right there with them. As we needed help as parents, we're those parents gonna make sure we give help when needed by our kids. But they're not ones that will try to mooch off of us or come with a sad story to get something from us. They handle it themselves. But when there is an issue, we'll have no problem being with her. But that's not here nor there. What the issue is now that Donna, she can do things and don't have to say, well, what about the kids? When we sit down and say make plans to go to a restaurant or go somewhere, we don't have to think about if we're going out of town. You don't have to think about, well, we got to get rooms, here for the kids. None of that. And Donna is having a hard time dealing with the fact that, am I doing something wrong because I can think of me first now? And that is a huge obstacle for her to get over. When you have so long, everything you have done has been mapped around my kids and then me, no matter what it is. Now all of a sudden I don't have to worry about that anymore. And she has some real struggles with dealing with that. As if, am I doing something wrong? It could be akin to you have a loved one that you have been taking care of, a parent in their twilight years, and you every day devoted time into that parent taking care of them, and God called them home. And now you're trying to deal with the fact that's not a responsibility of mine anymore. You're out and you're thinking, wait a minute, I got to get home. That's not my responsibility anymore. And that's what she's really having a really tough time with that.
It feels selfish. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And it does make sense. Like I said, something you've been doing for years, for decades. And now all of a sudden I don't have to do it anymore. Yeah, it can feel selfish. But there's nothing wrong with it.
I think sometimes I feel like too, with them being grown, I can't help but think, or I guess the feeling of they don't need me anymore, or they'll forget.
And let me say, now that is real. Because one thing about kids, when life starts lifing, they have to deal with their life. And it's not that they're saying they don't care about their parents anymore. Life is coming at them so fast and they're trying to figure out, how do I do this? How do I do this? That the phone call that used to come every day now comes once a week, once a month, once a year. And so I'm just saying, for me,
I wish they would.
For me, I was recall when our son went to the military. The oldest one, when he went to the military, and you know, you look at him wide-eyed, and he's walking into a new world. And the first place they placed him, what was it? Was it
Hawaii?
Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Hawaii. The guy never even been down the street far, and they put him all the way in Hawaii. So he called me every day. And of course, you know, there's a different time zone from Hawaii to where we had in North Carolina, but he called his dad, and it was daylight there, but it was really night over here. And so to talk with him, to really talk with him and just strengthen him where he was able to. And so here we all go again, guys. We're right back here again talking about the kids, because Donna can't get over that.
Okay.
So, but I'm just saying, but it came a point just to her situation with the phone calls.
Okay.
My son, as far as a man, was this man. Okay, I'm not gonna speak for all men. I'm gonna speak for this man.
You keep talking about it.
But because I'm gonna segue back into your to the phone call.
Yeah, we were trying not to make this video too long. I'm looking at.
Yeah. So, but with my son, he talked to me every day, and then he started talking to me 3 times a week. Then it became once a week, and then I did not hear from him for weeks. It was okay with Dad because I knew then he was getting stronger and he didn't need me as much. He's going on with his life. He had met new friends, met new people, and he's doing different things. So therefore, he's not thinking too much about Dad. Although I knew he loved me. And I was okay because I knew now he didn't need to speak to me every day to make it. Well, that's what Donna is, that she's dealing with the issue of, well, if they're going on and don't have to speak to Mom every day, that does not mean they don't love you. It just means they're lifing. And that's the purpose. You want them to be independent.
Yeah, I know.
Not dependent.
I know.
And so now we're working with, now what do we do? The kids are gone. Woo, woo, woo. You don't ran all through the house. You waved your towel. You don't just have the kids gone. Do your party, yay. Show is a lot of house. Let me go see if this room cleaned up from the last time we cleaned it up and left it. Just here. And so you found that you spent so much life serving that you forgot to be served.
And I'm sure there's probably a lot of couples that can relate to this, and even those of you, because I know we have some of our YouTube family members who are also pastors and, you know, pastors' wives. Y'all know I don't say first lady because I'm the only lady.
Amen.
Okay? I'm not the first lady. I'm the only lady. I say, what comes after first?
Second.
When you're dealing with chronological order. What comes after second?
Third.
Yeah. So I'm the only lady.
And
okay?
so the rest to say what? First, second, third.
I mean, and unfortunately, there are some congregations where there are some second and third ladies in the congregation. It's sad.
It's life.
And some of them actually congregate. I mean, it's sad. It's the truth. Anyway, Anyway, okay, let's get back on the subject.
But that's what we are. Now we are.
So they can relate.
Okay, now that with all that said and done, now we start this journey. Really, we start this journey of being intentional.
So how do we, and us talking about how do we really start being intentional and kind of just finding that really courting and dating and spending like quality time, like when you're not sleepy and tired, and how do we go on vacations or get away or be very, spontaneous. Again, it's hard for us to just travel because we need to be back here for Sunday morning service. So what did we talk about? I know a lot of people do like timeshares and stuff where they can just get away and travel, but even with that, having to travel 4 to 5 hours away, and then you try to schedule where we can be back on Sunday, you're working during the week, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. So what have we talked about? What did we come up with?
Well, we have planned, guys. We have come up with a plan to where we're just we have come up with a plan.
Okay.
And our plan is really, we're going to think about us. We're going to move.
Sort of, kind of.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Sort of, kind of. Gonna move.
Yeah. So tell them about our move.
So, this is what we've come up with. Now, again, let me tell you, this is just us. You all have to do what works for you. If you think, that's just too much, y'all, listen, mind your business. We're trying to figure out what works for us. So, in us thinking about that, we needed a home away from home. Okay? We wanted someplace, we wanted to feel like we were at a resort. We wanted to pretty much be able to be very spontaneous and go on vacation whenever we wanted to, at least kind of feel like we were on one. So what we've decided to do in moving is we wanted a space that was just for us, and even in us looking for a space that's not far away from that's not too far away from home, it will afford us an opportunity to still, if we are home away from home, if he wanted to be there and go to work, it's not too far.
Right.
And if he wanted to be there, or we wanted to be there and go to church, it's not too far. We can do that as well. So it gives us that feeling of being away, being out of town, but again, we're not too far from home, and it just allows us to be able to have our time, our space. Unlike a timeshare, we don't have to call and get permission, or make sure that the time is available that we want to come. And that's one thing I definitely did not like about, because we've gone to those little meetings and stuff before with the timeshares. I know that they, based on some of the people that we know that have them, it is a fabulous way to have vacations when you have little children. Oh, some of the most amazing vacations. But again, I did not like, that part about having to call, make sure that time is available for me to come. And plus, for the most part, they're too far away for us to be spontaneous.
Right.
So what we wanted to do is enjoy some luxury living, and we talked about doing a place that just has one bedroom.
One bedroom. One bedroom.
One bedroom just for us. Just for us. And it's amazing because as we started doing some tours, I kind of almost looked at 2 bedrooms and then was
just in case.
Just in case. Not a 2 bedroom. 1 bedroom. And again, we wanted some wonderful amenities. We wanted some luxury living, and it gives us that opportunity to be away and feel like we're on vacation, but still be able to fulfill the obligations of things that we have to do as it pertains to working, the house of God, and our children. Not even be too far away. Can't be too far away from my Jackson baby. So that's what we've decided to do.
And so we want to take you guys. We honestly want to take you guys on a journey with us as we're putting. Now we're gonna put this together for us.
It's for
our
us.
Personality. So it's not for Jackson.
Has been
well, I'm saying it's not about little Jackson. It's not about our kids. It's not about we got to worry about this for them. A bag of cereal for a boy that ain't even dare to eat it. That type of stuff.
And see, that's been the hard part for me because you guys saw that we were out a while back at Home Goods. I am going to do a haul of the things that I purchased, but that video was for us to, I'm starting to prepare and purchase things for our home away from home, because of course it's a blank canvas, and even if we decided we wanted to do this for a little bit, and then if we decided we didn't want to renew and want to do something else, hey, go somewhere else for a little while. We have the option to do that because we have our primary home, and we're going to always have our primary home, but this is just something that we want to do that, again, affords us that opportunity to just be able to do us.
Think you got an RV?
No, that's a little too small. No. I don't like traveling like that, honey. If we need to do a lot of traveling, let's travel, let's fly the friendly skies. So, but that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be bringing you guys along in the process of us getting our home away from home together.
And working big time on really spending time.
Yeah, because we've not done good. I'm so glad to know that our marriage is solid as a rock.
Okay, calm down. But really, and to have that, really, those ties of our kids and our responsibility, but now all of those things have been untied, and now it's all about.
Not quite. Listen,
when I say that, meaning
you're gonna let me get my last few months.
Okay, you get your last few months, but as it is becoming untied, we now want to focus in really on us.
On us, and I'm
really
talking about just really living, because we have definitely existed, and when we share some of the things that we've gone through as since as a family, since we've been married, because marriage. I don't want to. Some people say marriage is hard. I don't.
Well, I can't say it is.
Sometimes you face hard times,
right?
But I'm talking about for us.
It hasn't been.
It's.
And we have faced some serious challenges. But it has never been an option for me. And Donna has never ever indicated an option for her to walk away.
Yeah.
That has never been even in the card games with me.
And when you have two people that want to fight hard and you're determined not to give up, then it's possible. It's possible. And we oftentimes talk about trying to outlove one another or outdo one another in that how we serve or take care of one another. It matters. You have to choose your battles. But adversity is really going to be that foundation, because you see what a person is made of when their backs are against the wall.
Right.
When that adversity hits, you really, really see where a person's heart is. It's when you're facing the hard and challenging times, it's okay to be happy-go-lucky, all is well when you have the money to pay the bills, and you can go, ladies, we can go shopping like we want to go shopping, or hang out with the girlfriends and just do, you're buying the house I want, the car I want. It's easy to be okay then, but when junk hits the fan and we looking at foreclosure, income has stopped. Can we even afford a foxhole to live in? These are the kinds of things that we have faced, and again, we'll talk about that more as we talk about some marriage stuff as it pertains to us, just in hopes to encourage somebody else, because there may be somebody some couples right now that you're facing. You really don't know what it's going to be. You really don't know what 2024 is going to bring because you're facing some challenges in your marriage and I don't know if this is what I want anymore. So hopefully there's something that we can say and share that will encourage you, because it's not, you have to have some rain in order to appreciate the sunshine.
And so I won't go into that anymore, because that's a whole other world. But what we want to do is just let you guys.
We've been talking over 45 minutes.
Okay. Well, we're going to bring this in, but that's what we're going to do now. And so would y'all please let Miss Donna know that she is not to feel guilty, because now she can think about what it is that she wants and go get that. As opposed to saying, well, no, I can't afford it because I got to buy this for my kids, I got to get this for da da da. Now, that's not there anymore. That's not there anymore. So, I just wanted to know it's okay. She has done well. She has sacrificed her whole life and put her kids and her family first. Now, she can consider, what is it that I want? And be okay with that. And be okay with that. Start learning to live. And that is to say, with life and one another, see different things. I'm going to even try some different food.
Yeah. It depends. It depends on what it is. And I'm real simple, you guys. I don't have a bucket list. My husband has a bucket list of places that he wants to see, yes. Things he wants to see, places he wants to go. Right. And my thought process with that is, it doesn't matter to me if it's somewhere he wants to go. I'm game, As long as we're together, we're traveling together, and doing it together, I'm good. Whatever he wants to see, I guess that's going to be my bucket list as well. And if I think of something that, I think I want to do this, then maybe. I
don't want to see the Sky Bridge.
I do want to go to Gatlinburg. You scared?
Yes.
You say that really quick.
No, I ain't playing no.
Anyway, you don't do them heights like that, do you? Not when you can look.
But I do. It's a lot of things I want to see. So I want to see the wonders. I want to see the wonders of America. Okay. Not the world, but America. Let's start with America first.
Not the world.
Not the world. Like I want to see Yosemite National Park.
I've seen that.
Okay. Well, okay. You have. I haven't. Okay. I want to see that. I want to see Mount Rushmore. I want to see the St. Louis Arch.
Okay.
I want to see.
This is bucket list.
I want to see the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. And we'll get to do some of that when we go visit my brother in California.
Okay, well, yes. See, I'll be knocking off my bucket list now.
So, in any event, I know another thing too, when us talking about a home away from home, with some of the amenities, it's also going to be, I'll be using that space for my studio kitchen, if you will, and just different places where I can work as it pertains to my office. And what else? I think that's it. Valet services.
And sometimes when you just want to get away from everything, you leave home, everything like let's leave, and you just have that, I'm not too far, but I'm away. Because when you're away from home, you can relax. Like, I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. That's somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
And so that's what it really more so.
And we won't even have a pack, we won't have to pack a bag, of course. Right. We'll have clothes there. Everything will be there. And if we decide on Tuesday we want to go to our home away from home, we can do that. And he can get up and, we can go to work from where we are, and just, we can continue to do those things that we need to do and not be so far away. So, we just wanted to bring you guys along, because once I start doing my hauls, you'll kind of notice that we're in a different space, and it is a clean slate. And I told my husband, even as far as some of our decor, I wanted to do some things there that I wouldn't necessarily do here. I think, I want to vibe, want to kind of edgy, kind of chic a little bit, but I don't want it to be all girly. I mean,
She's over the bling phase.
Yeah, I'm over the bling phase.
She's over the bling phase, y'all. Let's go. No more blingy.
So it would be fun just to bring you all along, just to see what I do with the space. I'll be sharing. I told you guys anyway I want to do more vlogs this year, so I'll be sharing some hauls. We'll go shopping together, as long as you all are on your best behavior. do some shopping, and then, you know, I'll do some hauls so you guys can kind of, you know, so you can see what I purchased and then see how we put it all together, okay? But again, it's going to be a different vibe there than it is here. We're trying to furnish it and do some things very cost effectively. Like, I'm not interested in furnishing a home away from home with Haverty's. Haverty's is for the primary home. I don't want to spend that kind of money in decorating or furnishing. So, but we still want it to be nice, but just have that different feel where I can feel like I'm on vacation with my boo, and we can kind of, you know, we can just really, what call it, baby? We gonna be intentional about being intentional.
Just being intentional.
Being intentional.
I asked for a TV in my bedroom.
Anyway, so that's what we have going on. So when you see me, you know, in a different space, y'all will know exactly what. Like, wait a minute, y'all will know good well I couldn't show up doing the video in the kitchen. Y'all be like, Miss Donna, where's you at? And I'm not even saying anything. And then y'all be all in the comments, Miss Donna, did y'all move? Miss Donna, where are you, Miss Donna? So
and the other ones. Well, look at now. What don't happen? Where's your house at? You know, some people would think the negative thing. When you don't tell people things, they tend to think
they assume
their way. Some people assume this thing. Some people assume that thing, depending on the person and your personality.
Yeah. So I'll do some videos there. I may do some cooking videos here. I don't know. It just depends. But you know, it'll be that will be my studio kitchen. Okay. So all right, is that good? We're good. Okay. So like I say, going forward, it's been probably about 50 minutes, y'all. I'm not even gonna apologize for the video being long, but we just wanted to share with you all where we're going and how we've not done good at being intentional, and we're gonna do better. And if you find yourself in our situation, sort of, kinda, do better about being intentional. It's not about, you know, however that needs to be done. It's not always about having to do things where it costs a lot of money. You can have a romantic dinner at home, or, you know, leave a little card here. Just be intentional about your relationship, because what we have learned is that life is like a vapor.
Life is here.
1 minute, yeah.
The next minute, it's gone.
It's gone. And what we have said is that we want to continue honoring God, but we don't want to have any regrets. God forbid something happens to me. I wouldn't want my husband sitting around feeling like there's so much we could have done and we didn't do, and vice versa. God forbid something happens to my husband and I'm thinking about, we should have done this, we should have done that, we should have. And at the end of the day, don't worry about what anybody has to say about it. I've never seen so many people that's so worried about, how you worried about how somebody else spend their money like you having to pay their bills. How you gonna have something to say about how somebody else spending their money that they worked hard for? It has nothing to do with you. So don't worry about what people say. Do what you want to do, okay? All right, as long as you can afford it. Now, don't live above your means. We have never ever believed in doing that, and that's why I say, you know, it doesn't always have to be big purchases or a lot of money spending to be intentional. It can be as simple, you sit on the couch eating some ice cream and having a conversation about your day. Just be intentional and not take each other for granted. Did you say something?
I was just like, you know, just, who knows, maybe sitting down on the couch, I don't know, looking at the football game.
No. That's not the kind of intention.
I'm just saying it could be something like that. It's just
No.
But then,
okay. All right. So you guys stay tuned. I think that's it for real. So if you've not subscribed, please consider doing so.
By hitting the nosy.
That's turning on that notification bell, making sure that way you'll be notified whenever we're over here doing whatever it is we're doing, and being real intentional about it, okay? So you guys, it's 2024. I said there's more in 2024, and we're going to do better. We're going to do better, and this is just real talk. You know, we can come on here and act like we just be all lovey-dovey all the time, and we just, but look, be the two ships passing in the night. So we're going to do better, all right? Okay. All right. right, so thank you guys so much for watching. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Bye.